As we continue to inch closer and closer to Elimination Chamber, we're obviously starting to fill up the men's and women's Elimination Chamber matches. Currently, there are still 3 qualifying matches remaining, 2 on the men's, 1 on the women's. And out of all those remaining qualifying matches, there is one match that I'm going to be keeping a very, very close eye on. And that is happening on the next episode of Friday Night SmackDown, where we have Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, and Damian Priest. Now here's the thing. I'm not even necessarily concerned about Damian Priest in this match. I am more focused on Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. And if you were like me and you watch NXT and you watched NXT when Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams were both on the roster together, they obviously worked together and then they had an amazing feud against each other, and now we're finally starting to see them possibly rekindle that magic. So the purpose of today's video is we're going to be talking all about this qualifying match between Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, and Damian Priest. And we're specifically going to be talking about Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. But real quickly, before we get too far ahead in the video, I want to say that if you are a WWE fan, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. That is all we post is WWE related content, so if you're a WWE fan, again, consider subscribing. It's free. You can always change your mind later. So like I said earlier, if you watch NXT, and you watched NXT when both Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams were on the NXT roster, this is a match that we have wanted to see since those two got called up to the main roster. Let's remember this. Those two were two of the bigger faces of NXT back when they were on the NXT roster. I still think they did the right thing with Trick Williams, and they left him down there and let him really, really hone in on his skills. I thought it was the correct decision to call Carmelo Hayes up when they did, and while they necessarily didn't get off to the best start with him on the main roster, I feel like they're starting to pick up momentum with him. Now, why I'm excited for this match in particular is, again, because Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams in it, and Carmelo Hayes still carrying that United States Championship. Because my honest-to-God hope is that this match could spring a feud between Carmelo and Trick. Now, again, that is my personal hope for this, but could we actually see WWE doing this? I don't necessarily know. Because on one hand, they know clearly that people want to see these two again together. But then on the other side of things, you have what they're doing with Trick Williams right now, and presenting him in a way that makes him feel like he could legitimately jump to the main event scene tomorrow. And I don't necessarily know that they would want to have Trick going after the United States Championship, just given the way that he's been presented so far on the main roster. Since Trick Williams has been on the main roster, we've seen him have segments with the likes of Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, two of the biggest names in the WWE. Now, this entire thing is kind of the underlying story of this qualifying match, because again, this is a qualifying match for Elimination Chamber. And the other piece to that match is Damian Priest. And if we take a look at Damian Priest, I don't necessarily want him to be in the Elimination Chamber match, but I also don't want him to get stuck with either Trick Williams or Carmelo Hayes, and they get caught in that never-ending feud that seemingly happens with Damian Priest. Now look, I'm not a Damian Priest hater, but I'm just not a big fan of what he's been doing as of late. Like, his matches have been fine, but his feuds just go on and on and on, and they just don't end. And it gets to the point where you almost forget about what the entire feud was about in the first place. And I don't want that to happen to either Trick or Melo. I think they've got Trick Williams in a very, very good spot right now. And I think that they've got Carmelo Hayes also in a very, very good spot right now. And the last thing that one of those guys needs is to get stuck in a never-ending feud with Damian. So while I am excited for this match because I want to see Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes again, I'm also kind of nervous because you have the Damian Priest aspect into all of this. So if you take a look at all the scenarios, you could have Trick Williams win, go on to Elimination Chamber. Then what does that necessarily mean between Carmelo Hayes and Damian Priest? I hope it doesn't mean Damian going after the United States Championship, but if it does, hopefully the open challenge kind of doesn't allow that feud to go on and on forever and ever. If Carmelo Hayes wins and goes on to Elimination Chamber, that I feel like has a bigger potential to be one of the never-ending Damian Priest feuds. Obviously, Trick Williams not carrying a title right now, still relatively new on the main roster, and I just feel like, again, they've got him in a very, very good spot, and one of those never-ending feuds with Damian Priest would just not be a good thing to do right now with him. So while I don't necessarily want to see Damian Priest win this match and go on to Elimination Chamber, that's what I'm kind of hoping happens here. If that means that we get Trick and Melo one more time, I'm here for it. And even if we don't get anything else between Melo and Trick, as long as they stay away from the never-ending feud that is Damian Priest. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. Out of the remaining qualifying matches, which one has you the most excited? I realize that this may not necessarily be the most interesting video of all time, but this is something that I really wanted to talk about because, again, a lot of people, including myself, if you watched NXT when Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes were on that roster, that feud, their story together, chef's kiss, fantastic. So the possibility of seeing that playing out on the main roster has me so freaking excited. So let me know who you think is going to win that qualifying match between Melo, Trick, Damian Priest. And also let me know if you want to see Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes start a feud one more time. As always, leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. And while you're down there, swing by the description and click the Linktree link. That is the only link in the description for a reason. That is because it'll take you to all of the social media platforms for this channel. I do strongly suggest going and checking out our X page. Besides YouTube, I am most active over on X. We do updates for Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and the PLEs. If you enjoy these videos and you're looking for some extra content, go check out our Instagram and TikTok pages as well. Over on those two pages, you can expect clips from these videos, and it's just another place for me to post when I do upload a video on here to YouTube. So again, if you enjoy these videos and you're looking for some extra content, Linktree link in the description. It'll take you to wherever you want to go. So with all that said and done, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. Again, both are free. Both really help out the channel a lot. And of course, if you have made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you very, very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here because it genuinely does mean the world to me. And as always, stay tuned for more WWE content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.